There was a question here I forgot to ask, and it just because you mentioned Croke Park, and obviously had been there for the Tyrone, the big wins. Um, what was it like playing there, or what is it like playing there? Considering you've someone who's stood or sat in the stands, what's it like going out there in front of like all those people? I was there for I was there for a U2 concert, and I was standing in the middle of the pitch, and I was like, "This is ridiculous! Like, how do people play in this? Like, what is it like to be out there playing?"
So I'll tell you, I have a funny story first about the first time I ever was in Corke Park was the '98 final. So Galway Kildare, and so I was 7 years of age, but I had no ticket. So at that stage, Dad had assumed that you're that you can just sit in my knee, you'll be grand. So we went to the turnstile, and I went to walk in, and the hand came out through at this stage it wasn't scanning the tickets, it was the hand. It was handed over and ripped the stub, and the hand literally came out, and the wee face was poked down, and have you a ticket? And I said, no, my dad's got a ticket there. And I went to walk on, and they're like, you can't come in without a ticket. And I was like, so I turned around, and I said that they won't let me in without a ticket. So Daddy was going, he's only 7 years of age, he could sit in my knee, look at all the size of him. So I would have been not really tall, but I was really skinny whenever I was younger. And so it wouldn't have been causing any hassle really to be sitting with that. And at that stage, about 3 or 4 of the Eden Dark seniors at that time came walking along, but one of them had a real long leather coat. It was probably cool back in the day, but almost out of the Matrix, down to the knee. So Dad said, take off your coat, hold it in front of you, and Niall crawl through the turnstile under your legs. So that's how I got into the first All-Ireland final. So he held his coat out in front of him. Yeah. I was between his legs crawling. I say he looked funny, walking with the 2 legs parted, handed over his ticket. I crawled through, and whenever I got to the other side, as Dad was coming through the turnstile, and I was going, I get in, and he's going. And luckily Dad we were in the upper Hogan, and Dad had a seat in the front row of the upper Hogan on the an aisle seat. I just sat in the steps.
Nice.
And looked over the thing, and it was just, I was in, as I said earlier, just in awe of this packed out Croke Park. And the steward kept coming down every now and again saying, look, just sit in your dad's knee there for a minute, because obviously his whoever was over the top of him was coming around to check, as everybody's sitting and stuff. And then whenever he would go, then I would sit back out in the aisle, and it was great. But I suppose, getting back to the real side of things, in my first year we played Dublin and Croke Park in the league, and there was maybe 18,000, and you were sort of going, this is class playing in Croke Park, but it's you don't really notice 18,000. It wouldn't even been the lower part, it wasn't even nearly full. And then we played the league final, and there was maybe 36,000, and still looked empty. And then during the international rules, we actually had in-house games in it, so it was completely empty, and that was just a surreal experience. I suppose what the boys would have got last year in the All-Ireland final. But it was I actually loved it, because it was just, you could hear the echo of everything, you could hear everybody's voice. But then the All-Ireland semi-finals and final, the final was just, it was crazy running out, and it being nearly at capacity, and just I suppose maybe not so much for we got beat, but whenever you hear the roar and the cheers of the teams whenever you score, or whenever Dublin scored especially, just it was deafening, and it was just magic. It's a magical feeling running out on the Croke Park, and just seeing a crowd sort of the whole way around you. And one of the things that I always do now is, after the team photograph, no matter where I'm playing, I'll just walk the whole way to my nets and just look around and just see, just take it in, I suppose, because you don't know when it's going to be your last game, and just enjoy it. And people would say, don't look at the crowd, whatever you do, it'll only put you off. But I love looking at the crowd and taking it in, and just sort of saying, this is mental. What have I done to sort of deserve to be in the middle of all this?
It's incredible.